Hello creatives, welcome back to the design studio. Are you excited to see what I'm going to show you how to make today? Well, today I am closing out 2024 with the last summer wreath, so I saved the best for last and probably are challenging myself for the last summer wreath as well. So this is a design that I was playing around with yesterday. I'm going to cross my fingers that it comes out the way that I envision. And I'm going to walk you through all the steps. But before we get started, if you want to go ahead and save this tutorial, super simple. If you're on Facebook, just hit the share button down below. It'll take this tutorial and put it right over to your own personal Facebook page. If you are on YouTube, just click the save button. That'll go ahead and save this tutorial for you. Also, if you are on Facebook and want to be notified when I go live, super simple. You have to do the two things. One, you have to like the page, and the second thing is follow, which is hidden. Never used to be. But if you go over to those three dots and click the three dots, it'll open up a sub menu. And within there, you'll want to make sure that you are following the page. If you are not, make sure you go ahead and click that follow button so that you can be notified when I go live. If you are on YouTube, what I need you to do is simply subscribe to the channel. And then you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And apologies, I didn't get the retro cat up until Tuesday morning because it was taking so long to upload to YouTube that if I click the publish button a little too quick, sometimes the video will broadcast before the audio does. And so people are like, oh, there's no audio. And it's just, that's the way that YouTube processes things. So I've been withholding actually hitting the publishing button until everything has successfully downloaded, and then I will publish it to YouTube. But if you guys didn't know, I do have a YouTube channel, probably has well over 500 plus videos, and I'm adding more every single week. So make sure that I'd love to have you be a subscriber for me on YouTube as well. So head on over there. It's Cats Creations Wreaths or catscreationsandmore.com. So I'm going to pivot you down. We're going to cover the materials, and then we're going to start the assembly process. So let me do that right now. Going to pivot you on down. And I'm going to leave it right about here because we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be working on. And like I said, for right in this general area, I have a tendency of this is my workspace. I don't know why. I have all this, but it is such a reach for this countertop high workbench. So we're using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. That is going to be our base. We are going to be using two different color Deco mesh, both 10 inches. We're going to be using this moss metallic and this emerald green metallic to create a very neutral base of monochromatic greens. So that is going to be our base. Then if you've ever wanted to introduce florals on top of Deco mesh, we're going to hopefully conquer that today. I've in the past incorporated florals into the design, but let me grab a couple of these and show you where my headspace is for today. So we are going to be using Hibiscus, Calla lilies, and then tiger lilies, plumeria, Monstera leaves. We're kind of going a little bit summer tropical because we have this gorgeous wreath attachment that once again is from PNWWreathsNThings, which you can find on Etsy. And we're going to create a home for our adorable Flamingo. So this is going to be our centerpiece. We are not going to be using a sign. We're going to be using her in the actual design. So we're going to try that with all those tropical florals and a neutral base. Then we're going to try being a key word, put in a gorgeous bow for it as well. The bow making materials that I have set aside for this one is this 2.5 inch Flamingo on white. Then we're going to be pairing that with I am looking. Oh, Here's my other ribbon. It rolled off my countertop. We're going to be taking those 2 different color greens and we're going to be popping that in with a plaid. Pairing that with a green Swiss dot. We're going to grab that pink flamingo color. And then we are going to use the flamingo ribbon, unwired. So that's going to be a challenge. And then this delightful green and white with the moss green stripe. So those are the ribbon combinations for this with florals. So we're going to see how it works. Technically, this would work easy on a grapevine wreath, but like I said, pushing myself outside of the boundary. So let me go ahead and make sure I can see. Okay, why are you not updating? There you go. Just takes a while. Let me go ahead and pin some things at the bottom. So I'm waiting to see if Julie's going to come on. She's the one that made the flamingo attachment. She sent him to me a little bit ago, but I was like, I really want to think about the design on that. So that's what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and post her website as well. Not her website, her Etsy shop names. So I have put that down below as well for those of you that would like to hop on over there and pick up that wreath attachment. So she does have a couple, I think, available right now. So let's go ahead and get started. So 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. We're going to go ahead and finish the last of the 6 sections. I did 2 different types of pipe cleaners on this, and that's to help me. I'm like, yes, it's going to help me determine where the Deco Mesh colors are going. So that's why I opted to go with these colors. So we're doing an emerald green and a moss green. So we're simply going to wire together the 2 inside circles here, right in here. I've already got my glue gun on, so everything is heating up. And then I'm going to do the outside too, just to give this some structure for our Deco Mesh base. Like I said, super simple if I was doing this on a grapevine, but I'm pushing myself out of the comfort zone. So we have 6 on the inside. We have 12 to the outside. I'm going to be removing the inside 6, and then I'm going to leave the outside 12. I doubt very much that I'm going to be utilizing these for ribbons or half bows or anything else because we're doing florals. And then we're going to add a bow, and then we're going to add the wreath attachment. But I want to leave them in the event that I want to add something. I have those available, which is always the best tip I can give you. When you're starting out on wreath making, knowing when to cut, when not to cut. Wait till you get to the very end, and then you're like, okay, I'm not going to need these. Then go ahead and remove them. So we are using the emerald green. We're going to go where the emerald green pipe cleaners are. Obviously, the moss green is going to go where this moss green pipe cleaner is. That'll help me keep the pattern going that I want to achieve. Each of these Deco Mesh pieces cut with a wood burning tool to 20 inches. Actually, the green is 20 inches. The moss green, because the emerald green has the wide foil mesh, so it really pops on its own. The moss green, you can see it's a little thinner. It's a little lighter. It doesn't have the wide foils. It just has the thin laser foils about every 4 or 5 columns, and it's very thin. So I opted to cut these to 25 inches just to give it this tone when we add that to the bottom. So we're starting with our emerald green, and you can get both of those Deco Mesh colors from Craft Outlet. We're going to take an imaginary in our head, imaginary line right up the center, and we're just going to gather this together. And I'm doing it in about a 1/2 inch pleats. So you can see those are nicely pleated, literally about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to place my finger right in the center. I'm going to take this and place that finished edge right to the center. And because this is one of our center pipe cleaners, I'm going to remove this one. So as I twist a couple extra times, where it's not twisted is what I will cut. I'm going to take and tuck that extra stub back down. And then now right here, I'm on my Deco Mesh pipe cleaner. And now I'm going to do the same thing. So you're going to see that these are a lot thicker, a lot longer ruffles, but it's just because this is so sheer and I really want the color to come out. If I just cut it to 25-inch pieces, it's going to be, I don't think it would turn out as deep a tone that I would like. So we're just going to do this. 2 twists, and then what I'm going to do is just take the ends. I'm going to just like pull these apart like little doilies. I'm going to move my pipe cleaner to the left so it's out of the way. And then as we're making this connection point, you notice we don't have a pipe cleaner here. So what I need to do is create some sort of a gap. So by taking my mesh that's preceding that section and put a little bit above and a little bit below, when I come in and add my emerald green here, I don't have to worry about that section not having Deco Mesh in it. And you're going to see where sometimes the colors feel like it's the same color right next to each other, and it's because we're alternating the colors on the 12 outside, but we're also alternating the colors on the inside. So just a different look for both pieces. Like I said, I've never done what I'd be considered like a Deco Mesh base floral wreath before. We've added florals, but never really focused on florals being the centerpiece before. Hi, Joan. I'm here with Bells on Cat. You're my greatest inspiration for everything, always. Thank you, dear Joan. You are entirely welcome. So, yes, I can use your guys' support on this design. So we're going to go ahead and lay this one right inside. We're going to go ahead and give it a couple twists. And because this is the inside, we're removing it. Hi, Mary Carol. Welcome. And we'll go ahead and tuck that one back down. I'm going to do the same thing here on the outside. Because my inside piece is right in the center, I want to make sure that the piece preceding it lays on top of that existing piece. So now here we go. I'm going to take these and just kind of push those away so you can see where I'm focusing. I mean, where else can you find a green base? I guess I could have done moss, but then moss doesn't go with tropical florals. Moss to me feels more woodsy, not tropical. So I'm taking these as tropical colors and incorporating that into this design. Again, I'm on my left side piece, so I'm going to take a little bit of the end and lay it above and a little bit of the bottom of the next pipe cleaner so that that can come in and lay nice right on top of that center. I'm super excited to see what the base will look like. You know, it's hard when you're doing the design process from a tutorial's perspective when you don't really, I mean, you know what you want to see incorporated in it, but you haven't done it because you're going to do it live. So it's either going to be a success, which is what I always hope, or it's not going to be what I had hoped. But we're going to keep positive and make sure that happens. So back to the inside. Do you guys have any questions at all about the process? I think I explained why I opted to not do grapevine. I just really didn't want to clean another grapevine because it takes a lot. And it's kind of hard to hide the mechanics on a grapevine because everything is just right there. Oops, let's go ahead and tuck that one. And then I need to remove these pipe cleaners. Completely missed that because it's our inside. And tuck that back down. And then I'm going to readjust the piece on the top. And then get ready for our other. Okay, we are on moss. And sometimes if it's a fairly, new piece, you don't necessarily have to. But you can see what's happening is that likes to roll underneath. So for me to keep it flat so that I can, it's going to wiggle to the left and the right as we're placing that in. But you can master it. Okay. So up and over, again, we have this adjoining section. So we want to make sure we're covering our pipe cleaner right in here. Isn't it strange to think that this is the last week of July? By next week, this time, we're going to already be into August. It's really going quick this year. I feel like summer, however, is just really dragged on. I'm just not a fan of the heat. Jen says, trying to log into my tablet to see a bigger screen. Awesome. I know. I think if it was me, I'd probably be on a, whatchamacallit, on my desktop. And then for here, here's our inside. We're going with the moss green. And then I chose to do the ruffle method because we're going to be laying florals on the top. Kind of like a grapevine. I wanted to make sure that it was more flat than fluffy. Because if I did a poof or curls or cruffles, which I had thought about, they were just going to be too much of a volume for me. So again, taking that center and making sure that I've got this thing over the top and that it is covering everything I needed to cover. Back to our moss. So just to recap, I cut 9 of the moss green metallic mesh to 25 inches strictly because it is a thin color tone. It's got the thinner foil in it than the wide foil emerald green does. And then I cut 9 of the wide foil emerald green at 20 inches. We're doing this on a Dollar Tree wreath frame. And no sign. I don't even think we're going to put in ribbon tails to this design. So we'll see how it all plays out. I don't want to overwhelm it with florals either, because I don't want to take away from the flamingo. It will have a bow. And now we're doing emerald green once more. So in this case, the pipe cleaners are helping me to stay focused on what color goes where. I have emerald green pipe cleaners for the emerald green mesh and moss green pipe cleaners where I'm going to place the moss green Deco mesh. So kind of creating a two-tone jungle foliage look. And then we're going to make sure, once again, that the centerpiece color goes right underneath the ones preceding. And now we'll come in with our moss green. You can see how long that 25-inch piece really is. It's hard for old eyes to see on an iPhone screen. I agree with you. I am much like you. I always have to turn it sideways, click the widescreen option. Very much the same. Okay, emerald. We're down to our last couple pieces of mesh. It's funny because it's almost like it's got little quadrants. Oh, thank you, Joan, for sending me 200 stars. Thank you. So I don't know if you guys know about the stars. You sometimes see it next to your comment button. But what stars are is, it is a penny per star. So when people send you stars, it's kind of like a way to support your creatives through their Facebook Lives. And you would think that Facebook pays you big time money. No, they don't. Not at all. If I had to rely on Facebook monetization, I would have to go get a job. Hi Marisol. She said, I forgot to click the button. Hi everyone. Linda says, oh my, I'm late. Where can I find the supply list? So Linda, the supply list is only available for private group members. Other than that, you can just watch the replay. And I do go over all the measurements and everything else. You would just have to take notes during the tutorial. If you don't feel like doing that, come join my private group. I have the link posted down below for my website. If anyone is interested in becoming private group members, also you get great discounts on your wreath attachments, like from PNWWreathsNThings. Our group members get a bigger discount. Even through places like Jane's Front Door Decor, Personalize It by Pam, Kringle Designs, so that can definitely pay for the cost of your membership, which is very minimal. Okay, one more piece. Gotta get this all snugged in here. I gotta find the pipe cleaner first. All we did is keep the outside 12. We removed the inside 6. We are not going to be adding ribbon tails or half bows. We're going to be incorporating florals throughout this wreath. Totally new design. Just for summer. Hi Marisol. She said, I forgot to click the button. No worries. Okay, so this is the base. So what I wanted to do is kind of create a neutral base of different tones of green so that I can come back in and we can add in florals to kind of complement our wreath attachment. So let me share this with you again so you can see exactly how big this wreath attachment is going to be. She's actually going to be kind of off to the right hand side. So she's going to be along this line. We're going to put our bow down here at the bottom, and then we're going to fill this entire section full of tropical florals to kind of accent and create a home for her. So let's go ahead and let's add her into the wreath attachment right now, or into the design, I should say. And I'm okay with things on this wreath being flat. So I'm going to weave this through. I need to get a new tool because there is, whatchamacallit, this pipe cleaner is really super soft. Just means it's very pliable. So I'm trying to get this through, oh, I don't know, six layers of mesh. So I'm going to probably have to just do one at a time. Okay. Slowly getting it there. I got one side. One side's down. So there are two different attachment areas for this. Trying to get the last one in. And of course I'm trying to do it where it kind of goes into the pipe cleaner. Normally it's not that challenging to get it through, but when you have softer pipe cleaners, the softer pipe cleaners are a little difficult to get through layered mesh. So a couple quick ties right there at the head. I'm going to maneuver the body over just slightly. Going to grab the pipe cleaners at the bottom. And then we're going to work the body part in so she doesn't flop in the wind. And so when you're dealing with super soft pipe cleaners, they have a tendency to want to bend and not to go through. For me in the past, I've actually tossed the overly soft pipe cleaners because they just frustrate me so much, because it takes so long to work them in that it's just not worth the time it takes to get them through. Okay. I think I really wanted to pull her up higher, and I thought when I was putting my pipe cleaners in that I was going high enough so that we could put a bow in at the bottom of her feet. But now I'm thinking we need to go higher, like all the way to the top of this design. So let me grab these and move her just slightly up one level. Okay, pipe cleaner. Let's get that through. Okay. So we're going to pull her up a little bit higher. This way we can put the bow almost at where her feet are. Might cover her feet just slightly. Okay, so now I got to readjust her body so she's not so far over to the side. Darn it. This will probably be the hardest part for me today, is just, this is where I need that. There's a tool called a metal yarn hook that you can take your pipe cleaners to. Yeah, right, Carol? She says crochet needle. Exactly. Just makes these a little easier to work. Or you just, and I'm trying to think. So if you buy your pipe cleaners in the seasonal section at your craft stores like Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, you generally get like a mix of a, you know, a couple colors, but those are generally the soft pipe cleaners. Okay, so I got them both. Pulling it down. We're going this way. Okay, and then we're going to build our bow. Okay, so she is in there. So that is where she's going to be. Like I said, again, we're coming in right in here with a ton of florals. I'm trying to think, what do I want to add first? Let's go ahead and build the bow, because I think the florals are going to be super easy. So let's start with the bow. So I'm going to grab all these. We're going to put them together in the color combinations. We're working with a ribbon that does not have wire in it, because I've had so many people ask, do you ever use a ribbon that does not have, whatchamacallit, does not have wire in it? And so my answer's always been, yes, I have. I'm trying to come up with my colors right here. I think this is where I've done it. So I think that's the color combination for the thing. John says, back to the iPhone. How you cope with so many problems. I sympathize, right? Absolutely. It is a challenge. So we're going to do the green. So we're going to start with dovetailing the ends, which is just bring the wired edges together. We're cutting from the folded side to the wired point. Okay, and we are going out to 10 inches, and we're going to gather. I'm going to use the Bodabra. Oh, Marisol, she said, oh, big news from my Hobby Lobby. They stopped supplying Halloween because of complaints of being evil. I was shocked yesterday looking for some things. Yeah, Hobby Lobby stopped supplying Halloween, oh, quite a few years ago. They've kind of gone in a different direction, and that's fine. But, you know, you can always go to places like Michael's or Joann's to pick that up, even Walmart. So we did a 10-inch tail. We gathered, twisted, placed it right down the center. And now I'm pulling this out to make sure it ends at the 5.5-inch mark. Then we're going to do this one. Same thing. Pull that out, make sure it ends at 5.5 inches, and then we're back out 10 inches, and then we're going to dovetail that. Yeah, I want to say that Hobby Lobby stopped doing that 2019, I want to say. And I thought that they did it through all the Hobby Lobbies. Ready to throw the tablet out the window. So frustrated. Might have to sort it out when I'm not watching the live. I know, Joan. No worries. Okay. So, man, that is a lot of fold right there. So do you guys know how to get rid of the fold in your ribbon? Which is a thing that I have to order. Mini irons. Iron will take that out in your bows or in your ribbon, so that you don't have to, especially if they have a very large fold like I did here. So this one on our Flamingo ribbon, the flamingos are going both directions. So they're going, you know, it depends on which way you're looking at it, but they go both ways. So it's not like I have to worry about focusing on, are they all going in the right direction? Because it's a pattern that is, some are going this way and some are going this way. But we are going to measure at 9.5 inches. We're going to take that in and twist. Again, place this in the Bodabra. And this time we're going for 5-inch loops. So we're coming down by a 1/2 inch, still lining this up on the 10-inch line because it's so much easier to pull these out to the side and go, hey, I'm right here on my 5-inch line. We're good. Go ahead and do the next loop. And then we are back here, stretching this out. Need a little bit more. Okay, and then back out, cutting at 9.5, and then putting a dovetail on the end. Now, where'd the ribbon come from? The plaid ribbon is from Craft Outlet. The Flamingo is from Pinky Jub, which is on Etsy. So it's PINKYJUBB on Etsy. She does sell a lot of items. Okay, I'm trying to think. This. Okay, we're doing great. I moved it so I couldn't see what I was doing. Alternating pink and green, pink and green, pink and green as much as I can. So we're taking our Swiss dot, which is, if you cannot find solid ribbon, Swiss dot or gingham is like your next best choice. This one we're doing 9 inches in, and then we're going to do 4.5 inch loops. So again, kind of guesstimate, bring it back to your 10, hold it out. If you're good, go ahead and move on. Do the same thing here. And then we're back out, cutting at 9 inches, putting our dovetail. This one is also from Craft Outlet. Now, I know the Flamingo ribbon is from Hobby Lobby, and then the other two are from Kringle Designs. They're one of our suppliers that offer group members discounts. A very generous discount, too. They're also the ones that design our Wreath of the Month kits. So now we're going to do solid pink, because sometimes we forget how amazing solid colors can be. So in this, trying to keep it either in alignment with the pink of the Flamingo or the pink of the ribbon. I think the ribbon is a little bit more coral. So we're going that nice hot pink color. Playing with a lot of the florals that have that deeper pink in it. We're also going to be doing 4.5 inches. So I am just lining this up, putting my finger in the bottom one, and then pull the top. So that we're at 4.5 inches. We're going to go up and around. Same thing here. Pull. Then we don't have to measure this 4th ribbon in, but we do have to make sure that it lines up at 8.5 inches. And I love buying my solids on 50 or 100 yard spools because they take up less space. I just keep the solids or the larger spools in different locations. Okay, now we are doing this moss green. It's like gingham edge with a solid green stripe, but this is a reversible ribbon, which also means on the other side we have this striped solid. And I haven't decided which way I want to go, but let's go ahead and put our dovetail edge on it. Just like that. I think I kind of like it with the gingham striped. So we're going 8 inches in, twist, lay that back down. I love this ribbon. When they first came out with it, I was like, I have to get that in all the colors because it just gives you 2 different ribbons but on the same roll. Now we're doing loop size at 4 inches. So make sure you're at a solid 4. And then do the same on the other side. This is wired, but it's a very thin wire gauge. So it almost is like no wire in it. And then we're back out to 8 inches. Dovetail the end. Okay, there's this one, and then we're off with our Flamingo non-wired ribbon, which is from Hobby Lobby. I like this because it has the ferns and the Monstera leaves, which we're going to be using the Monsteras in our design. So again, dovetail the end. And we are going to do 7.5 inches for our tail length twist. Lay that on the inside. That will introduce the flamingo into our design. And we're going to measure out 3.5 inches for our loop length. And that's almost a perfect size, because anything longer than that, this non-wired ribbon is really going to flop. It just wouldn't have the strength. Okay, back out. Seven and a half inches. Okay. And because it's non-wired, I really want to make sure that we've got, you know, if there's a twist, that I don't have a weird fold in that. Here we go. All right, we are going to grab green pipe cleaner. Fold it into a U shape. We're going to pick this whole thing up. We're going to transfer and drop our pipe cleaner into the center. Hold it really tight at the bottom and then twist. Joan. What department would the flamingo ribbon be? Great question, Marisol. It's going to be in their everyday ribbon if they still have it available. Linda says, where can I find that adorable flamingo? It's at P as in Pacific, N as in North, and then W as in West, WreathsNThings on Etsy. Okay, we're going to fluff. And now this is going to be a bottom bow, so all of our tails are going to hang to the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and loop this onto my fluff board, which will keep the ribbon from moving around the board. So I'm going to pull all my ribbon tails down, just like this. Everything down. So now we're going to fluff starting with the top 2. So we're just going to take and lift the top 2, just like that. But we're going to go opposites on the other side, just like that. So they're kind of like a little crisscross. And then here, go ahead and decide if you want green at the top or pink. It's going to be entirely up to you as the designer. But on the opposite side, you're going to pull the other one a little farther up. Just like that. And then at the bottom, same thing. Just take your 2 loops, separate them. And down here on the same. You just really want to give some volume to your loops. So you really want to get in there and give them some love and some life. So from here, we're just going to run our fingers down the ribbon to get that nice little arch, little curl in them. Same thing. It's a little harder to see on the bottom ribbons because they lay flat. And then, because this board is also designed to showcase colors and ribbons and all the things, you can just like lay everything out where you want it to fall so that you can see everything. And then if I tilt it this way, you can now see we have a gorgeous ribbon for the bottom of our design. Okay, so we're just going to take this off. We're going to go ahead and put this. I was pushing it the wrong way. We'll go ahead and get this on our wreath. And bring this back over. I'm thinking it needs to come down here. This is kind of where I envisioned it to go. Kind of covers her feet, but I'm okay with that. Because it is covering her feet, I'm going to go ahead and remove these couple pipe cleaners that are right here. Tucking the tabs back in. There's that one. So that when I go to pull my pipe cleaner back in there, there we go. It's not in the way. And I'm thinking right about there. So I'm kind of going in between where her leg is kind of bent a bit. I just gotta do the same thing. I gotta work that pipe cleaner all the way down through all the layers. And of course, I was trying to push with my pipe cleaner bent, which doesn't do me any favors. Trying to get that in. Okay, got it in. Just trying to work it. Got one really super short pipe cleaner for some reason. And we're going to pull that down nice and snug. The stage never works this easy. It's so true. It is so true, Marisol. Nothing works easy. So again, this is just coming down. And if you look, you can still see her feet. They're still tucked down here at the bottom. But we can just go ahead and make sure all the ribbon tails are all in the right place. Refluff things as we need to. Just like so. So she's still the star of her own show. And so now we're going to come in and add the florals. So this is where it gets challenging. Okay, because normally I don't put bows on top of Deco mesh, but we're doing it. If you want, you can pull some of your tails off to the side. You can have them kind of spill out over here if you'd like. But let's go ahead, and the first thing we want to do is get all these out. I need to get them all. So I cut all my leaves down, but they kind of come in a little pack like this. These are Monstera leaves. So they're kind of like, you know, they're wired all the way down. So we're going to be using these as some of the base to set our florals on. So I have quite a few of them, and I think I'm going to remove my pipe cleaners because I just think they're going to get in the way. Let's So let's go ahead and remove these because we're going to be tucking florals and leaves and all the things in here. At first I was like, will I use those as like anchor points for my florals? No. So all the way up. Grab this one way up here. And tuck that back in the center. Okay, so now I have a nice flat slate to build on. So I kind of want to start up here with our Monstera leaves. So I do have my glue skillet on. Let me show you what that looks like. Just move all my scissors and stuff. So I can't put it on the cutting mat because it'll warp the cutting mat. But it basically is a 7-inch skillet like this filled with glue. So I kind of have it off to the side on a silicone mat. So I'm just going to dip the Monstera leaves in them. And then I'm just going to kind of come inside and I'm going to just create a green base. Not that we don't already have one. Of Monstera leaves, and they're going to kind of be in this weird, like kind of a trio crisscross pattern. So I'm going to kind of come in right underneath here because I kind of want them to fan out. And we're going to bend them so that they're not flat, one-dimensional. We're going to give them some love and some life. So they bend, they have wires all the way to the ends. So we're going to be adding these like this. Cutters over here. So sometimes I don't need the stems to be quite as long, but I do need them to be some length so that we can see those. So just like this, a nice little trio. I'm going to kind of come in here, same thing. Just kind of forming that into like a nice little half circle. And we're going to kind of tuck that in. Half circle, cut the end off, and we're going to have this one kind of going up underneath. This is going to kind of come out to the side. So they have like 3 little bundles. So like one here, and then as we get a little bit closer to the bottom, same thing. Just like so. And coming down towards the bottom, here's our trio. We're going to have another one down here. Just like that. Okay, trying to get that one down so that it'll kind of fall over the little arch we got going on. Let's go ahead and get this one. gonna kind of tuck this right underneath our little flamingo. Okay, so I've got those in the positions I want. I'm gonna kind of come in over here, removing my pipe cleaners here. We're gonna add a couple Monstera leaves here. Trying to get this one underneath. And then this one here. Okay. I'm thinking, like just having these kind of, you know, tucked in a little ways, trying to find my accent point. So she's kind of like in the trees. Just like that. Good. I'm looking to see what I like. I don't want any by her face, but I definitely want to have these leaves in so that they simulate exactly kind of what we've done with the leaves. Got one right here. Well, let's go ahead and take the last. So these Monstera leaves, I think you can get them from Craft Outlet. I believe I got mine from Shinoda, which is a wholesaler in Southern California. I was able to get those. I loved all their florals. So far, this is kind of what it looks like. And I know it's kind of hard to see the details, but you can see that we're adding in different tones of green. Now we're going to elevate it and add our focal flowers. So focal flowers being the largest flowers. So that is going to be our hibiscus. So I'm just making sure that we remove the overly long stem. We're going to kind of have a hibiscus here. They're going to be in 3 places. So here, here, and towards the bottom. And I'm just going to take my hibiscus and I'm just going to push that right through my Deco mesh. I want to try to, if I can at all, avoid running my glue over the top. So you're going to see I'm going to move it. Let me find the other ones. I'll do this one down here at the bottom, right in our other third grouping. Take my stem down a little bit more. Okay, anytime, there you go. And these are wired so I can bend them to get them to lay however I want them to lay. And the other one's going to come out the back side. Here's the last one. So this one here is going to come out the back. And it's going to be right out here. And I've got my leaves so that we kind of have them a little bit sprinkled, a little bit all the way through in kind of like this little triangle pattern. Now we're going to come in and we're going to add in our Calla lilies, which are these. So we're going to be adding a little bit of a Calla lily off to the side. So I'm going to push my greenery up because I don't need stems that large. haven't decided if I want that. I kind of like that going towards the flamingo. Again, Deco mesh is amazing for attaching florals to. So we've got that one. Let's take this one. I get a fray. Let's pull these down. And I'm going to kind of have this filtered in here right about there. I might have it up. No, I like it up here. I just don't want the Deco mesh to collapse my lily. There we go. And then we're going to have another one out to the side. As soon as I find it, there it is. And we're going to probably have one kind of come out here. Let's get this turned around so it's in the right way. Okay, so we've added our large focal flowers, which are the hibiscus. Two different, it's a calla lily with a dark pink edge, but the lighter pink, so those are pulling that color in. And then the hibiscus to the outside. The hibiscus came from Michael's. The calla lilies came on, believe it or not, this giant pick like this. So I ordered this from Craft Outlet a long time ago. So it's got roses, carnations, and some other things in there. So I just broke it down and pulled all the things out. And now we're going to add our tiger lilies. And so these are kind of like a grouping of 3 flowers, but there's kind of like an indent in the center. And that indent is going to go right in here, nestled up against the base of the hibiscus. For example, this is going to kind of go in here so that it frames our hibiscus. So weird, I hear the jays just hopping across the roof. So we're going to frame my hibiscus with my lilies. And then we're going to come in here and do the same thing right here with this one. We don't need picks that long though. So this one's going to kind of come in right here. These would be like your secondary or medium-sized florals. So just like that. And then this one's going to kind of nestle down in here. Great. I'm going to redirect some of my Deco mesh. Let's move this leaf. This is going to kind of come in right here. So it'll kind of bump up underneath that. So let me push my mesh aside. I think I needed to cut this one down a little bit more. It's just a little too long for this space. And we're just going to redirect some of our lilies up and under. So far, this is what we have. Let's get our lily to fly. Okay, so that's where it's at. Now we're going to come in and add in, there's like a different color lily. They're like a little bit darker, but these ones are more realistic. so they kind of a little bit more lifelike. So for example, I hate when they put the leaves so far down. Sometimes we just need to readdress these. Sometimes we just need to make them go where we need them to function. So I'm trying to cut them down to the size I need so that this is going to fill in that section. The inside there. So now we're kind of taking these flowers and we're using them to fill the spaces in and around our arrangement. Just like so. And then we have the leaves. We'll attach the leaves a little bit later. Let's grab some more. What do you guys think so far? I'm gonna take this one. I think and have this come out towards the bottom. We might put another calla lily in. So I like that one there. Kind of bring that up and into our ribbon. Just like so. Let's go ahead and attach. I think I want to put another calla lily there. So let me grab this one. Just so that we can have this one kind of angled out the side. Trying to see where it wants to go. Sometimes with the introduction of the glue just kind of creates that opening that I need. Okay. Now I can add this one right where I wanted it to. So again, cut down the florals if you need them, you know, to be a different width than where they're currently. So I'm going to add that one here. I'm trying to think of where else. Let me flip this around so I can look and see where else do I want to add another floral. Probably right in here. Although it feels like there's a hole right here. I think I might just do a lighter lily in there. So I'm going to add this one here. And then we'll add something a little bit different there. I'm looking at some florals to see if I want to add in any ranunculus. Might add a couple of ranunculus in here, although I don't like this lime green that it has on the end. So this is kind of like a pink and white. It's kind of got a white center to it. So it's a little bit different. So we'll add a couple of these and then we'll add in some white to help lighten up that base. so we'll add that. So these all came from, I want to say, Amazon. So I'm just going through and picking them off and removing that weird color lime green. And then just initiating another base for it. And then this will kind of come in here with a slight twist to it. Just making sure I'm removing all my glue threads. Let's see if we can find another one. Oh, these ones. Let's see if I like the way that the peach. That could work. And it's funny, I've had the hibiscus forever and never really thought to incorporate it in any of our floral designs. I'm going to move this one to the outside because I have this open area down here on the side. Now that I know that that color works, kind of just looking, seeing which one I like. I think I'm going to tuck this one in here on the top. Just like so. Look how beautiful that is. Some reason I'm looking right here is really dark. I need to lighten that up, like with a lily. See if I can find another lily. Yes. And there's these ones. Let's take these and put this to work for us, which are gorgeous. They even have the little lily stems at the bottom. Let's flip this around. Might have to adapt the stem to work for me. Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing too for the outside over here. Right next to our Flamingo. I'm going to just add a couple florals right here. Just so that there's something right there. Okay, let me add the little bud that goes with that. I need a stem, but they just put it like right on the end. Let's make our own. Okay, now I can cut it to the length I need. Flip this up so that this can now rest right in next to that. And I have another bud. We're going to do the same thing. I'll lay this one right next to that. And now we're going to take it and lighten it up just a touch. So I'm going to add some of the leaves that I removed off of the plumerias right here. Okay, those are pretty much done. I'm not going to use the lime green because that just looks so fake. Not that this is supposed to be realistic looking, but I'm just now coming in and adding like these little accent leaves that we had to cut off. Kind of just tucking them up under the lilies. So just like these, I just pull the ends off. And then I put the leaves right next to the florals. Just like so. Look how pretty she is. For some reason, I'm still seeing, like right here is really dark. I think it's just the leaves. Let's lighten that up with a little bit of I have these little wispy pieces. Let's see if these work in with this design. Let me add a couple of them, and if I don't like them, I'll pull them out. They're just like these little fillers. So like we can kind of tuck them in right underneath. But I want them going in different directions. So I think I like them. What do you guys think? I'm just literally pulling them out of this bigger arrangement because those are their little fillers. All right. Trying to get the other one. Okay, let's see what that does. So kind of like this, although the tip is a tad too long. Like adding that in, adding that over. I think that will help break up all the pink. Just like that. Right in there. Kind of make this one go this way. Just like that. And if you get glue on anything, wait for the glue to dry. You just notice the eyelashes, Carol? Yeah, she's super cute. Add this one down in there. She does have beautiful eyelashes. So these are all my fillers. It just kind of breaks up all the pink and just adds something to this design. I'm going to cut a couple more pieces of it off. I think I have one or two more. So I have some areas over here. That I want to, it's just like another little like triangle piece. So I'm thinking something right in here. Let's take that out. I think that works. So if you like this design and you want to purchase it, it is available on my website. I think I listed it there. And I'd like to add just a little bit more softer white floral. So let me look. Let's see what I have that doesn't look too out of place with that. Let's see. I have these. Let's see. These are kind of baby's breath like, but they're all individuals, so I can actually just pull them all off to put them where I want to touch. Okay, anytime you want to disconnect from the bunch. Man, this is probably the best pick as far as making sure those little pieces don't come undone. And they just take the place. So I am going to start adding these. I've just been playing with them and I'm like, you know, it'd just be easier if I just glue them and commit. Because by the time I get them all settled, I'm like, I'm going to take those all out and glue them back in. So I'm just tucking them all around where we have like a high density of just over pink. So it gives it a different texture. Let me take this one out and cut it down a bit more. It's a little too long. I didn't like where it was winding up. And one of these under. I'm going to wait for this glue to dry on this lily and then we'll remove it. Because if you try to remove it when it's wet, it just doesn't work out the way you had hoped. Like, oh, I should be able to pull that out really easy. No. Okay, we're just pulling it around. And I'm going to use a little bit bigger pieces to kind of come in right in between the hibiscus and these other pieces. So I'm just grabbing the whole bunch. So they kind of come like this. So I can grab the whole bunch like these. Or I can grab a little bundle like this. And just kind of tuck those in. Just like so. So it doesn't look so static, like all I did is just stick flowers on Deco mesh, even though that's technically what I did. And I like these bigger bunches, believe it or not. Just kind of tucked around the outside. So, for example, I have like this big bunch right up here at the top. And those, for some reason, just look really, really good once I get them in position. Not that one. Let me see. See, like this, just taking that big bundle and tucking that way down inside so that it fills in the center. And I'm happy to create my own little pick again to kind of get something right in here between these two. Couple more pieces and we will call it done. Just breaking up some of the old overdone pink. Nope, don't like that one. Kind of like that how it is. I think I'm going to, yes, tuck this one under the thing and we're done. Okay, so like I said, not everything has to have something in it. So let's put this up on the door so you can see what it looks like. Hang tight. I got on late. Where's the baby flamingo from? So PNWWreathsNThings, Carol, on Etsy. I'm gonna save my glue if I can. Is where you can pick her up. Okay, so there she is. Oh, thanks, Joyce. She's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so it's going on a white door, so let's see. Trying to make sure we can see the whole white door. Just a little bit down. Okay, let's move our cat. Let's put her. Try to still get all the glue threads off of it. I'm sure I'll be doing that for a while. But here she is on the door. I feel like something just fell. Guess not. So now we're going to fluff all the ribbons. Make sure it's all nice and pretty. And I'm still moving glue threads. Here's the one on our Calla lily. Super nice. Just comes right off. So my black door would show every single glue thread. So that would allow me to kind of go in and find them all, remove them all. But I think this is, it gives you a different idea of what we can do with the Deco mesh base. So remember, this entire wreath was created on a green Deco mesh base. So let me zoom in for you guys so you can kind of see all the details in that. So yeah, absolutely. You can definitely work floral into whatever it is that you want it to look like. And that is our final design. So this is the Summer Flamingo Wreath. I'm trying not to like put my head in the thing. Joyce says, I love it. Elizabeth says, beautiful. Where can I find the sign you used in the daisy chain petal? I believe it's Pam's. Joyce, God is good all the time, God is good. I think it came from Personalize It by Pam on Etsy. Oh, nice. Audrey said very cute. Brooklyn said beautiful. Love your name, by the way. Maricel said love the little touches. Yeah, so when you're doing florals, if you follow the formula, which is green your base, add your focals, the large flowers, add your medium-sized flowers, add your small touches, then you can go in and add those little filler pieces, add leaves, add like how we did, and we took the baby's breath and kind of broke that up so it's not just green with a whole bunch of pink flowers on it. I think it did good for, this is a first for me. This is my first where I really incorporated a Deco mesh base and added floral to the top. We topped it off with a bow, an adorable pink flamingo. Like I said, this is the last design for summer for 2024. So we're full steam ahead with everyday designs, and then we're going to be loading fall. I have another wreath attachment that's coming. I just have to make it, and I have to figure out the design of where it would fit in. It's going to be a crow. So, and it's going to be the same size as like our monster. So I haven't yet figured out what he's going to do. So I might reach out to some of my sign makers and see if we can come up with something cute for him. But other than that, like I said, come join the private group. You guys really want to take advantage of the community support and get great discounts and have access to me to ask all the questions. I'm one of the few designers, because I've been in quite a few groups where you can actually talk to the main person running the group and get insight, get help, get all the things. And then, like I said, great discounts on all of your wreath making supplies. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. So I will talk to you next week with new designs. Bye for now, everyone.